As tensions escalate in Eastern Europe, Baltic nations and Poland are considering a significant move in response to Russian military actions in Ukraine. Lawmakers from the Baltic states have expressed their readiness to deploy troops directly to Ukraine should Russia achieve any major breakthroughs in the eastern regions. This declaration, made last week in Tallinn, underscores a growing concern among these nations about the potential for a broader conflict. The Baltic legislators voiced their concerns during discussions with the German government, particularly criticizing Germany's reluctance to supply Ukraine with long-range weapons and restrictions on using Western arms on Russian soil. "We won't wait for Russian troops to reach our borders," they stated emphatically. This stance marks a potential shift towards direct involvement in the conflict, which could draw NATO into the war, raising significant concerns for leaders like German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and U.S. President Joe Biden. Ukraine's calls for more support. Amid these developments, Ukraine continues to seek more robust military support from its Western allies. The Ukrainian government has been particularly vocal about the need for long-range weapons that could reach deep into Russian-occupied territories. While Chancellor Scholz has maintained his stance against allowing Ukraine to use Western weapons to strike inside Russia, other nations like the UK and France have started to supply Ukraine with advanced weaponry such as Storm Shadow cruise missiles. Russian military movements. In the meantime, Russian forces have intensified their military operations in Kharkiv Oblast, launching a new wave of counteroffensives near Vovchansk on May 10. This aggressive push has led to several villages coming under Russian control, and a significant number of residents, more than 10,000, have been evacuated from the northern frontline regions. Despite these challenges, Ukrainian forces have managed to stabilize the situation in some areas, with recent reports indicating some recaptured ground in Vovchansk. Scholz's remarks on Ukraine's NATO membership prospects. In a statement that could have far-reaching implications for the security architecture of Europe, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz recently remarked that Ukraine is unlikely to become a member of NATO within the next 30 years. This assertion sheds light on the complex geopolitical dynamics at play and the cautious approach Germany is taking towards the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Scholz articulated his perspective clearly, emphasizing the long-term nature of Ukraine's path to NATO membership. Although it has been said many times that Ukraine will join NATO, I will say that this will not happen in the coming years, he explained. His comments reflect a broader European concern about escalating tensions to a full-scale war between Russia and the NATO alliance. Germany's supportive yet cautious stance. While affirming Germany's unwavering support for Ukraine in its struggle against Russian aggression, Scholz also highlighted the delicate balance his country seeks to maintain. He stressed the importance of acting in a manner that avoids provoking a larger conflict with Russia, which would have dire consequences for the entire region. "We must understand the responsibility because otherwise, this could lead to a big war between Russia and the North Atlantic Alliance," Scholz added. This cautious approach by Germany, coupled with a potential escalation of military involvement by Baltic states and Poland, paints a complex picture of the ongoing conflict in Eastern Europe. As Ukraine continues to defend its sovereignty against Russian advances, the international community remains divided on the best course of action, balancing support for Ukraine with the imperative to prevent a wider war. The coming months are likely to be critical as the situation on the ground evolves and international responses are calibrated in light of these developments.